A lifelong Sanduskyan, George Mylander dedicated his life to education, public service, and philanthropy. After serving in the U.S. Army, he earned degrees from Bowling Green State University, including an honorary doctorate in public service. He spent 27 years with Sandusky City Schools as a teacher and principal, retiring in 1987. George's leadership extended far beyond the classroom. He served 4 terms on the Sandusky City Commission, 6 years as mayor, and sponsored legislation making the boy with the boot Sandusky's official symbol. His service also shaped healthcare in the region, guiding the creation of Firelands Regional Medical Center and earning him Ohio's highest hospital trustee and service awards. A passionate supporter of higher education, George established multiple scholarships and gave transformational gifts to BGSU Firelands, including $1 million to Allied Health and Sciences. He was honored among BGSU's 100 most prominent alumni. George's legacy of service touched countless organizations: United Way, Erie County Historical Society, Stein Hospice, Grace Episcopal Church, and many others. Recognized as Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame inductee and Outstanding Philanthropist of the Year, George embodied a lifetime of service, generosity, and civic leadership that continues to shape Erie County today.
I believe that George Mylander should have been recognized while he was alive, but now it's even more important now to honor him while his memory is still in everyone's mind, and it'll encourage other people to be like he was. He was a great philanthropist of the city, and I wish I could have been more like him for the city. You know, I have done things, but not quite as remarkable as he has. So I think it's wonderful that they're doing this for him.
Hi, my name's Pete Shade, Erie County Health Commissioner. I appreciate having the opportunity to say a few words about George Mylander. George was really a great man, you know, a term that a lot of folks use, but in this case, really fits for George. You know, as a young man, George was raised the right way, so to speak. A lot of great values. None more important to George was education. And to George, and I believe to a lot of people, education is truly the only way up. You know, with the resources George had, he could have done a lot of different things in life. Could have went really anywhere in the world. George made a commitment to Sandusky and to Erie County as a young man. You know, he fought for our nation, was very proud of that, continued to honor the flag and make sure our veterans were taken care of. George was on many boards and commissions in his life, all as a servant to people to make sure people were getting either the help or the hand up that they needed. But back to the education part, George spent his life educating our young kids, elementary school teacher, which we know isn't really one of the easiest jobs in the world, right? But he was phenomenal at it because he was a very patient and a very humble man. And, you know, George, I think, made a lasting impact on a lot of young people who are now members of our community and leaders in our community, and they remember George's impact. So remember George Mylander saying, education's the only way up, Peter. Whether it's an individual gaining an education or a community being educated on an issue, a socioeconomic issue, or just social dynamics of a community, it's important that we remember that. And God bless George. He left a legacy to Erie County that now the United Way is carrying forward with these awards. And I think it's really great, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Hi, I'm Eric Wipser. I'm the CEO of the Greater Sandusky Partnership, and I was privileged to meet George Mylander in 2014 when I had started as Sandusky City Manager, and we were working on a campaign for Issue 8, which was a joint admissions and income tax increase that was really tied to utilizing the city's bicentennial to create a plan for how to move the city forward. And myself and our commission president, Dennis Murray, went and sat down with George to ask him if he'd be willing to support the campaign, both with his endorsement and also financially. And I was amazed at the perspective that George shared on his belief in the community, his belief in the importance of the city to move the community forward. And he basically asked, tell me what I can do and I will do it. And without that support, both the endorsement and those resources, Northern Issue Aid, or the success that it led to over the last 10 years for Sandusky would have happened. And that is on top of decades of contributions that George made to this community before that. When you talked to him, you saw naturally his commitment to the city, his commitment to the schools, his commitment to the hospital, his commitment to Bowling Green State University, to his church, to the revitalization in downtown Sandusky. And it's so exciting to see his legacy everywhere in this community, because that's the type of leader he was, and that's the type of life George lived, was a commitment to service and support of the community that he called home.
I think probably the most important thing was just his wide-ranging involvement in the community. I mean, George was part of numerous boards, whether that be for-profit, nonprofit, different organizations. He just tended to really support his community, get ingrained in his community, and do everything he could to make his community better through whatever contributions he could give, whether that was financial or whether that was his time. I don't think George was one to sit back and just be a member of any of those organizations. He always wanted to take on a leadership role, whether that be as a board of director or for one of the organizations that he was part of, or even as the ex officio mayor with city council, and having served as ex officio mayor many times, and also taking on leadership roles with other organizations and even his church. So he was always just a leader, not a follower. You go out through the community and you see George's name, whether it be at the hospital, whether it be down at Mylander Plaza, or several other areas, the Mylander Foundation. It's a lasting legacy, and it just goes to show the true impact that he made with the community, and the fact that he established that foundation and his financial giving is continuing. His legacy continues on, not only today but in the future. I think it's a great testament to the man.